Well, welcome to Madison's Board of Zoning Appeals for September 8th, 2025. Could we have a roll call, please?
Rick Ferris.
Here.
Nancy Burkhart.
Here.
Scott Baldwin.
Here.
Mark Acosta.
Here.
Carl Eagland.
Here.
Board members, have you had a chance to go over last month's meeting minutes? Are there any corrections, additions?
Easy read.
Take a motion to approve. And second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The minutes are approved. Renewals, we have quite a few in the interest of time. First, I'll read two of them who haven't paid. Number 2 on the agenda, BZCU-23-86, Anderson's Land Investments, 2920 Clifty Drive. And also BZCU-23-95, Michael Holchak, conditional use permit for a short-term Airbnb, 604 Jefferson Street. As of our meeting, they have not paid their renewal fee, but they haven't still. And I am aware of no complaints, so therefore I move we instruct the attorney to send them a letter indicating that their fee has not been paid. However, if they pay it by our next regular meeting, their permit or conditional use permit will be renewed. That's my motion.
Second.
And all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, no. Now, we had a total of a dozen renewals. So all the remaining renewals have been paid, no complaints to my knowledge. Therefore, I move that we renew all these conditional use permits. And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. They are removed, or renewed. Moving on, new applications. We have a total of 5. First item on the agenda is BZCU-25-15, Alexandra Hammock, requesting conditional use permit for short-term rental, 517 West Street, Central Business District. So if you'd come up and give your name and address for the record, tell the board what you have in mind and so forth.
Alex Hammock, 517 West Street, Madison, Indiana. So I'm just looking for a short-term rental for this property. I split my time in between here and Louisville, Kentucky. So this was a house that we acquired in 2022, did some extensive work to it, brought it back to life basically. It's a 1-bedroom, sort of a studio style, not really a full kitchen even, so I've been using it while we've been working downtown for just myself personally, as an office, and when I have friends on the weekend, we'll stay there kind of thing. But since we haven't been building anything downtown, it's just sort of been sitting, so I'd like to use it as an Airbnb and sort of make some money out of it since I don't spend my full time there.
You had some, as always in these meetings, personally, my only concerns are parking and noise.
Yes.
You requested quiet hours, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Madison's zoning ordinance, Madison's noise ordinance would make that from 10 p.m. in the evening till 8 a.m.
Okay. I can definitely adjust that.
That would
for
be in
those hours.
accordance with Madison's existing law.
Okay.
And you have said 2 guests, let's see here. Staff recommends maximum 2 occupants and maximum 2 vehicles. And you do know that on West Street, there's that parking lot,
Yes.
and
But
that's a
it's-
private
yeah.
lot.
Yes,
So
I'm fully aware of that.
hate to see your clients get towed.
It will actually, yeah, I'm aware that it is a private lot, and I don't even park there anymore because I used to park there all the time, and I know the owners, so if I really needed to, if I had guests, but I don't really think I need that. And there seems to be plenty of parking on West Street. I never have any issues finding a spot right in front of the house. And
So-
those would be in the instructions, when they were coming to visit, that the lot across the street is, private property, not to park there, just so that they wouldn't get towed or to disrupt.
Board members, do you have any questions or comments? Would anybody in the audience like to speak for or against this application? Well, seeing none, I will declare the comment time closed. So you can have a seat, ma'am. So, one last chance, board members. I move we approve this conditional use.
Wait,
Sergeant,
findings of fact.
findings of fact. Yeah. Trying to go a little too fast. Sorry. We had a lengthy meeting and most of you work for a living. With your permission, board members, I'll just go down our 9 criteria. If any of you in the audience, you've probably already seen them. But if you're interested, just ask Nicole. And I always like to point out, we don't invent these. This is state law. So that's why we have to do this. So I'll just go down each one and ask if any of you have any objections with your approval. Number 1, well, the category is 581. Any comments? Nope. Number 2, general objectives of the comprehensive plan. It's okay. Number 3, the general character of the area. Any issues?
No issue.
Number 4, hazardous or disturbing. Any issues?
No.
Number 5, that's about utilities and so forth.
Nope.
Number 6, detrimental to the economic welfare. Any objections?
No.
Number 7, excess production of traffic, noise, etc.
No.
Number 8, this is about interfering with traffic on streets.
No.
And number 9, loss of historic features.
Nope.
No. Well, having seen board members, you have no objections. I move we approve this application for a period of 1 year, subject to the following conditions: maximum 2 occupants, maximum 2 vehicles, and quiet hours will be observed from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. That's my motion.
Second.
And we have a roll call?
Scott Baldwin,
Yes.
Mark Acosta,
Yes.
Carl Eaglin,
Yes.
Rick Ferris,
Yes.
Nancy Burkhart.
Yes.
Well, we wish you well. Moving on to the next item on the agenda is BZCU-25-17, Samuel Lowenfield requesting conditional use permit for short-term rental, 505 West Main Street, Specialty District. Yes, sir, if you could give your name and address for the record.
Good evening. Name is Samuel Lowenfield, address 505 West Main Street, regarding a conditional use permit for use of a short-term rental. It's a historic home. I own it with my wife, and we personally would love to see it as a kind of higher-end historic rental for Madison. So happy to answer any questions.
Um,
Do you live there now?
I do not live there now. I live 15 minutes north.
On your list of rules, there it is. House rules, well, smoking pets, that's not really this board's business. No parties, no unregistered guests allowed on the property, and no unapproved parties. What is an unapproved party? What is an approved party?
That's a good, I'm glad you pointed that out. We will change that. Essentially, it should say, no unregistered guests allowed, period. And no parties, period. I see that now. That is confusing language. We're not allowing it to be a event center or a party center at all.
And I'm in agreement. And of course, the quiet hours, Madison's ordinance. You propose quiet hours 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. Well, God bless you for 9 p.m. Especially where that thing is.
Yeah.
So, given that you've already specified 9 p.m., which is more strict than our ordinance, which in my view is a very good thing, to 8 a.m. per the ordinance, that would be my one change.
Okay.
And no parties. Board members, do you have any comments or questions?
No, not beyond that.
I guess if you're using just street parking, then they're all street parking on this.
It's just on Main or Elm Street usually is the best options there.
And staff recommends maximum 6 occupants, maximum 3 vehicles. Board members, do you have any issues with that? Okay. Would anyone in the audience like to speak for or against this application? Yes, sir, you can have a seat. Come on up, ma'am. You can give your name and address for the record.
Hi, Jill St. Francis, 501 West Main Street. I live in the house east of the proposed Airbnb. Thank you for hearing me today. This is my current home, not a vacated home, not a vacant home. My concerns are property value and marketability, noise, parking, and the impact to community and neighborhood. The expansion on these points is that negative impact to my property value and marketability should I decide to sell my home in the future. When I was moving to Madison, I worked with a local realtor and I put him through the ringer. Where was I moving to? The houses that I looked at. What's the neighborhood like? If this had been a short-term rental next door to me, I would never have bought the house. And a potential purchaser may feel the same way. I am next door to 505. Our houses are separated by a 4-foot walkway leading to the primary entrance of the building. My bedroom windows are 4 feet from that entrance. There is increased likelihood of noise disturbance with the close proximity of the houses. The average 3-bedroom in Madison on Airbnb currently rents to between 6 and 12 people. The house at 505 is a 3-bedroom with over 3,000 square feet. Therefore, the potential for such noises would exist. There are 0 benefits to our quiet residential neighborhood. Short-term rentals do not contribute to the sense of community and neighborhood with the transient nature of short-term renters. Parking is a daily concern and always a challenge, especially during weekends and events. By looks of the current Madison Main Street reconstruction, we may even be losing a spot on either side of Main Street. My home, as well as 505, do not have off-street parking. There are 4 homes on our block between the alley and Elm, and only 5 parking spots. We carry groceries, we all have kids, we live here. Parking on Elm, south of Main, is already strained due to a 5-unit complex and a duplex. These are long-term rental properties with numerous vehicles. For months, we have all been hearing about how Madison is currently in a housing shortage. continual approval of these conditional use permits for short-term rentals further lends to this housing shortage. Per the Madison Courier, February 15, 2024, there were 209 short-term rentals in Madison, with 81 of those being in the historic downtown district. I'm sure that number has to have grown. It's grown by one this evening. It is my understanding that we as a community want to attract new permanent citizens to be a full-time part of our community. We are also attracting out-of-area investors who come in and purchase homes for the purpose of short-term rentals, who have no intention of occupying as their primary residence or being part of the neighborhood or community. And I have a few questions for the board. Is that, do you know how many short-term rentals there are currently?
To my knowledge, there are 100 or thereabouts. I'm talking about downtown.
Okay. Has the BZA or CD administration set a number of short-term rentals downtown Madison that preserves and protects the sense of neighborhood and community? Is there a limit?
We can't do that.
Right.
Yeah, there we run into a huge problem in the state of Indiana, which overrules this little dinky board, has virtually, how do I put this? They've almost made a preference for Airbnbs, or at least equality. You buy a house and you want to put a short-term rental in it. They changed the laws recently about the ability of communities to restrict mobile homes and Airbnbs. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nicole. No, I'm right. Madison has some control over Airbnbs because we had an ordinance prior to the state changing the rules. You have stated a huge issue very succinctly. Some people believe that a city should be homeowners and a community where you raise children, and like some of our board members, their families have been here since after the Civil War. And some people think that houses are just properties that are to be income and profit are to be maximized. Well, that is a huge issue, and at the present, if I'm to be brutally honest, Indiana leans more toward the idea that it's your house, your property, and you can do with it what you want, pretty much. So if you want to live in it, well, then you can. But if you want to rent it out, well, then you can. Now, why have I said that? It's because when you come before the Board of Zoning Appeals, as this gentleman has, and things don't go his way, we'll just make a what if. He has the right of certiorari. And that means that he has the right to go to a higher court and appeal our decision. And if our decision is not in line with law from both the ordinance that we have and Indiana state law, then this board probably would lose, and it's called being arbitrary and capricious. Yeah, I've been on the board long enough. I've been in some battles that have gone to higher courts. Been in one, went to a federal court. So this board is limited to following what the laws of Indiana are, and of course our own zoning ordinance. And our zoning ordinance, where is it? Section 7.00. If you want to look more into it, just go see Nicole. She'll be more than happy to help you. It's, looks like that.
Okay.
It's got this, each zoning district, historic district, residential, whatever, and it has a list of things.
If you're not speaking, can you turn your mics off?
Yeah. They're acting up. So, in historic district residential, rentals are allowed. Well, we can't disallow a rental because the law says they're allowed. Your concern about noise, well, that's where we try to minimize that by having conditions. And I must admit, the gentleman has proposed quiet hours starting at 9 in the evening. That's better than our ordinance is.
Well, I would like to
And for
say-
your, also, let me say that despite the 100, whatever, plus minus Airbnb type things downtown, to my knowledge, there's been one complaint. So the people who rent these places, by and large, enforce their rules. They rent to responsible people, and we really haven't had much trouble. So I sympathize with you, but I hope I made it clear that this board is constrained by state law and our zoning ordinance. Have I made it clear? I hope.
You have. However, I would like to continue with your point about special district zoning, which my house, correct me if I'm wrong, is in a special district. And it says it will consider unique businesses. In no way is a short-term rental unique to Madison.
Let me find it here. You can easily get yourself a copy of this zoning ordinance. It's online, or Nicole can help you. Each of these zoning districts has a purpose. Let me go here. Specialty District, Section 425, 4.25. Purpose of the Specialty District, which you are in. Right, you're in, is to promote the continuance and development of specialty businesses in the Madison Historic District. So, under our zoning law, the purpose of specialty district is to promote continuance and development of businesses. So they
Unique
have
businesses.
they have priority per our law, and if you were to appeal this to a higher court, like well, I don't think it goes to circuit court, but whatever, if you were to appeal this ruling, they'd look at that, and that's what they'd say. Ma'am, I've been there.
My follow-up question then becomes, if all this is law already, then why do we have these meetings to voice opinions of people that have lived here for years in a quiet, family-oriented neighborhood?
Well, we have a Board of Zoning Appeals to hear. It provides some measure of control for both city and public. So when you have a business, we do frequently have the right to put conditions on the business to try to reach a compromise. Ma'am, I hear you. I know what you're saying, but I also know that we have to follow this ordinance. So I sympathize, but if, for example, we were to say, no, you can't have an Airbnb, well, he'd just go to court, and the court would say, nope, Madison's BZA was arbitrary and capricious because it plainly says that he can have his Airbnb. And that's, I hate to say it, it's high school civics 101, you know. It's the way they've made America's laws to work. And people just generally don't realize it until, be frank, till their ox is gored. And then you begin to understand how all these laws have been written, and how they were settled on, and then you just see it over and over again. So I've tried to explain it. I hear what your feeling is, and I also know what the law says. So
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Well, now that I've had a lecture on this stuff, would anybody else in the audience like to speak for or against? Board members? Yes, sir. Would you like to speak on this subject? Well, come on up to the microphone, please. Give your name and address for the record.
Yes, my name's Andrew Ward. I'm at 1919 Fairway Drive here in Madison. And I guess just a question, if, so on a 1-year renewal for the continued use of the variance, well, can you give examples of what would cause the board to act to not continue a variance? Like, I guess a couple examples that way, please.
Well, any complaint that comes in is attached to, and like he had mentioned before, there's only been one complaint with all the Airbnbs. Is that correct? And, yes, they are attached to the permit. So we will know about it.
I guess I'm just
Suppose
asking.
not this gentleman in particular, but when you give out a 1-year, we typically give 1-year renewal period, and there are conditions. Well, if you violate the conditions, suppose, for example, maximum 6 occupants, suppose he brings in 15, and one of the neighbors complains and comes to City Hall, well, then the board has the right to review and try to correct. There are fines specified in the back, and they're pretty stiff. So there are, I guess the legal word would be remedies. Or suppose there was a wild party with 10,000 watt amplifiers and marijuana smoke billowing up into the heavens, and a neighbor came and complied or complained, then we would have the right to have a hearing about the matter. Or suppose there's a wild tumult and the police come and takes 15 police cars to break it up. Well, I'm being ridiculous.
Sure.
There are remedies. You just go to City Hall and say, hey, look what happened. And we could have a meeting. You could call a meeting. There are remedies.
Sure. Yeah, I was just curious what,
Mhm.
such examples might be. So
Okay,
that helps. Thank you.
you're welcome. Any other comments, questions, board members? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question for Mr. Walton. And you say you will be close, correct?
Yes, I'll personally
And-
manage it.
And the people that there will have your phone number,
Correct.
the neighbors, that they have your phone number
Absolutely. Oh,
also?
Yeah, I do. I want to give my phone number to all our neighbors. And our desire is not to make money and make our neighbors have a bad life. I hope we can reconcile and find common ground and see this as a both and not an either or.
Thank you.
Ow.
I fell and got hurt. Catherine Rutherford, 423 West Main Street. Is there a ruling on how many cars per residence for on-street parking? This is a little off topic, but related.
Not to my knowledge, ma'am.
Because Elm Street is a problem. Our building is Main Street and Elm, a great deal of Elm, and those 2 apartment units that tuck into our property that used to be, back in the 30s, part of our land, have 7 vehicles between 2 residents, a mother and a son, and a single man. And then in summer, when the boat comes home, it goes parallel to the sidewalk. So we're talking about adding 3 more vehicles to Main Street where there are only 5 principal residence parking spots. You're going to come around the corner, you have the multi-unit behind Miss Francis's house. I have a specialty business. I had to apply, I had to prove I had a business, and we do reside there, but we have our own off-street parking, so we're not adding to the issue. But I do have a classroom, and I have classes 3 nights a week and we use the Elm Street entrance. So Elm Street is an issue as far as parking is concerned, and that's why I wondered if we have company, more than 2 people come over, they've got to use Main Street, they've got to use Elm Street, because our cars are tucked into the garage. But the library is across the street. There are people who use the library every day of the week and stay all day. So Main Street is booked up. So parking is a major issue, and I was just curious about how many cars can you have. It's not uncommon to see a tent on Elm Street with a man under a car working on it. And it doesn't move. It doesn't go anywhere.
Well, ma'am, I sympathize, but you live in a city, that's what happens.
Oh, I know. I was just curious how many,
I've heard stories of Madison back in the 60s and 70s when it was going gung-ho and you might have to park 10 blocks away from where you wanted to go.
Right now.
Very similar to Chicago.
I would add a comment here, because I think it's, we hear about Airbnbs and stuff, and, they're gonna take up parking. We think of it as additional parking. I can speak for myself, I'm not gonna speak for the board members, but when I look at these applications, I compare them to what would be the impact if a family lived in that home, had children,
That's why I
teenagers
asked.
driving.
Because
And I
as
look
of
at
tonight,
for-
there's only 2 parking spaces on Elm Street due to the construction.
Sure, what I'm getting at is if someone lived in that house, a 3-bedroom house, they could
Right.
easily have 3 cars in their family.
Mhm.
So I don't think the requirements they're asking for here, or the permission they're asking for, is beyond what a family would have if they lived in that house.
I suppose.
If the house is not occupied today, it's viewed as additional parking. But if he were to move into that house, he has every right to those parking places like anybody else on the street. So that's the way I view judging. If he's here asking for 12 people and 6 cars, yeah, we would have an issue with that, because that'd be beyond what, in my mind, the normal resident would have. And then again, as long as they adhere to, again, no noise, no anything. Everything downtown, houses are close together, windows are where they are. But then again, that's nothing different as if a family lived there, as opposed to someone renting it. Going back to the fact we haven't had complaints about it, sometimes Airbnb occupants, everybody fears the college kids coming to town throwing a big party. But I mean, I think the past 6 weeks, we've had huge festivals, huge attendance here in town. I don't think there's been any issues or complaints about anything. So I think the occupant is a different profile now, for the most part. So
We just are losing some of it because of the bump outs, some of the parking, so
Parking's gonna change.
that's gonna change.
I mean,
quite a bit.
I agree. I agree with you.
Okay.
That is a point well taken. A number of years ago on 2nd Street, there was a guy who had a beautiful house, wanted to use it for events of 150 people. Well, that's like 70 cars. The board did not approve that. So, any other comments, board members?
No, I'm going to piggyback on what Mark just said. When we do this conditional use, we could set the maximum of 6 occupants. When somebody said that they looked and said 3 bedrooms, they can have up to 12 occupants. But we could say, this is the maximum you can have. Whereas like Mark said, they could have a family that have a lot more people than that. And the same with, we can maximize how many vehicles they have. I mean, we have a family of four where I live, and I live in between bed and breakfast, and my family itself, we have 5 cars between the 4 of us. So it's a give and take, really, and I hate it as much as you, because like I said, I live in between Airbnbs on East Street, where I'm used to having a neighborhood. The good thing, the person that owns the Airbnbs next to us, they did give us their number, their direct number, so if we have a problem, we call them. Luckily, I haven't had to. Sometimes do they park in our area? Yeah, but it's a street. You know, I can't really complain about that, because at least we have some control over what they do. We had neighbors before that lived there that would block the alley the whole time. They lived there, so there wasn't a lot we could do, but as a board, when they have a conditional use, we can say, hey, you can't do that, you know, when they come up for their yearly exam. So we have a little bit more control, I hate to say it like that, when they come for a conditional use versus a family that lives there. You guys kind of get what I'm saying with that?
It's very well put.
And one thing Scott explained, I wanted to kind of clarify a little bit too, is that I understand in the community, especially downtown, the concern about the number of Airbnbs or short-term rentals. So this board doesn't dictate the numbers.
Right.
That's outside of the responsibility of this board. So the number of similar uses in the area aren't part of what our consideration is. It's about it just fitting and being, applying the conditions. In a conditional use, we're applying the conditions to make it function properly.
Very well put. Well, I think we can move on to our findings of fact. Once again, board members, with your permission, I'll just read them and ask if you have objections. Number 1, this is obviously category 581. Number 2, any objections?
No.
Number 3, harmonious, etc., with character. Any objections?
No.
Number 4, hazardous or disturbing,
No.
and I have none, with adherence to and enforcement of rules. Number 5, that's about utilities.
No problem.
No.
Number 6, detrimental economic welfare. Any objections?
No.
Number 7, excess production, traffic, noise, etc.
No.
Number 8, interference with traffic.
No.
Number 9, loss of historic features. No, I think
No.
this helps preserve that historic house. I move we approve this application for a conditional use in the specialty district, subject to the following rules. Quiet hours will be observed from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., maximum of 6 occupants and maximum of 3 vehicles.
For how long?
And also that his rules, submitted rules, say no parties for a period of 1 year.
Second.
And could we have a roll call?
Scott Baldwin.
Yes.
Rick Ferris.
Yes.
Carl Eaglin. Nancy Burkhart.
Yes.
Mark Acosta.
Yes.
Well, thank you for the 9 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Did you happen to bring any of the green cards you received? I'll take those.
Next item on the agenda, BZCU-25-16, Jennifer Schaefer requesting conditional use permit for short-term rental, 780 Jerry Lane, that's in Historic District Residential. Yes, ma'am. If you give your name and address for the record.
Jennifer Schaefer, I purchased 780 Jerry Lane, Madison, Indiana, 47250. And I'm looking to turn this also into a short-term rental after I rehab it. It's pretty rough.
So you don't live there?
I don't.
You bought it?
No one lives there. It's vacant.
You got some work to do there. yeah.
Absolutely. I am no stranger to rehab.
And you do have in your application, you said you could easily park 3 vehicles on the property, because sort
So
of,
there's a back portion, like behind the house, there's a little area back there of a backyard, and then there's like where the addition was put on, there's the front portion there, or I guess where the addition was put on towards Jerry Lane, I'm gonna make a little parking area there too. That's where I've been parking anyway.
It'd be nice to see that fixed up, yeah.
Yeah.
so you don't have to worry, there is a sort of a parking lot looking thing cattywampus to the northwest, but you obviously couldn't use that. That must be private.
Yeah, I don't know who owns that or what it's even for, but I would encourage them not to use that. Number one, it's out of camera sight, so I will have cameras and security, and I wouldn't want them to park up there for security reasons.
You obviously have a property in French Lick, and you submitted in a sort of a sample.
Yeah, sample of what
And-
my other property does.
I do have one question about that one. You said you provide an outdoor grill and a fire ring on that property. You have no plans to that nature here?
I don't know, maybe a charcoal grill. Usually people who like to,
I guess if you have a Weber grill, that's one
yeah,
thing.
something like that. So like a charcoal grill. That's all I have there is a charcoal grill.
Because there are people that live around there, and one of our criterion is smoke, fumes, odors, et cetera.
Okay.
We don't want to create a problem for residents and other properties around there.
Sure.
Cooking's one thing, but it's the big burning.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about the fire ring or anything there because of those big trees. I might be a little concerned that it might get out of hand or something, so.
You don't want to
Probably.
burn Madison down.
Yeah, I don't really want to. Probably won't do that there.
If there is a complaint for somebody local, then we'll go out and check with the folks.
I'm probably gonna have to find some people.
I know some real estate folks have, had ties with
Yeah.
Airbnbs for those purposes.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think you can find that.
probably gonna have to find some people. I'm gonna have to find some cleaners and some people that I can contact, like, maintenance too, so.
Any other questions, comments, board members? I think your application, you wanted 8 people and 3 cars. Staff has recommended maximum 4 occupants and 3 cars, 3 vehicles. Any comments about that, staff? Board members?
are you planning on doing?
3.
Oh, 3 bedrooms.
Yeah, it's right now it's all weird inside. It's like 2 bedrooms upstairs, but the one bedroom's really big, and then there's that addition area is all just like laundry room, so I'm just gonna partition that off and make that another bedroom. So it'll be a 3-3 when I'm done with it.
So Nicole, don't we usually do 2 people per bedroom, so that'd go up to 6 people?
Yes, that's why I always note how many bedrooms are either listed or what I found online, so that way if something changes. So yes, my recommendation would move to 6 occupants.
3 cars.
I put 3 cars because that's what she had listed on the parking.
Does she have that available off? Yeah, off-street.
Which in that neighborhood, off-street, would almost be necessary.
Yeah,
Yeah, street's a loose word there, so.
Yes, that's a
it's not a very big.
glorified,
Yeah, it's a little lane.
Yeah, there you go. Lane, yeah.
wasn't much of a street in 1880. Any other questions, comments, board members?
None here.
Would anyone in the audience like to speak for or against this application? Well, seeing none, we declare the comment time over. So you can have a seat, ma'am. And we will go once again, board members, with your approval. I will just go down the list here and ask if anybody has any objections. Number one, this is, of course, 581. Number two, general objectives, any problems?
No.
Number three, harmonious with the character of the area.
No problem.
Number four, hazardous, disturbing.
No.
Number five, utilities.
All good.
Number eight, detrimental economic welfare, public expense.
No.
Number seven, excess production of traffic noise, things like that.
No.
Number eight, interfere with traffic,
No.
not on that alley. Number nine, loss of historic stuff.
Fixing it up.
Well, I move that we approve this conditional use permit for a period of 1 year, subject to the following rules. Quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m., maximum 6 occupants, maximum 3 vehicles parked off street.
There's a motion.
And I'll add one more thing, no outdoor fires.
Local rep.
And needs a easily accessible local representative to handle problems. That's my motion.
Second your motion.
Roll call?
Scott Baldwin,
Yes.
Carl Eaglin, Nancy Burkhart, Mark Acosta,
Yes.
Rick Ferris.
Yes.
Well, we wish you well, ma'am. You know, you have a feat ahead of you. Next item on the agenda, BZCU-25-18, Mary Jennifer Bridley, requesting conditional use, short-term rental, 808 Fillmore Street, Historic District Residential. Yes, ma'am, if you give your name and address for the record.
Yes, hello. I'm Jenny Brinley, and my address is 808 Fillmore Street, Madison, Indiana.
Did you say 18 or 8?
808.
Oh, 808. And, could you explain what you have in mind here?
Yeah, it's my home. I've actually lived there for over 10 years. However, I travel for work, and when I'm not there, I'd like to rent it out part-time, Airbnb.
Well, it's pretty simple. Board members, any questions, comments? And as in the last issue, how many bedrooms are in the place?
There's 2, and then there's also a pull-out couch.
So staff had recommended maximum 4 occupants
That's fine. That's fine.
and parking, do you have,
I do, on-site parking.
and you can handle 2 cars?
I can, and a golf cart.
And a go. Important feature.
Yeah, that's probably has to be in Madison nowadays. Well, that's pretty straightforward. Any questions, comments, board members?
Well, who would handle any problems if you're out of town?
My son, he's 27.
See multiple?
He is.
Okay.
He is.
Any other questions, comments, board members?
No,
Would
as
any-
narrow as the street is, I drove down there today, and there were 2 vehicles and a golf cart
Right.
sitting right
Yeah.
there. Got past just fine.
Would anyone in the audience like to speak for or against this proposed conditional use? Well, you can have a seat, ma'am. And once again, board members, with your permission, I'll just go down the list. This is obviously 581. The second one, any objections?
No.
Harmonious general vicinity, any objections?
No.
Number 4, hazardous disturbing.
No.
Number 5 is utilities.
No issue.
Number 8, public expense or detriment to the economic welfare.
No.
Number 7, excess production, traffic, noise, etc.
No.
Number 8, interfering with traffic.
No.
And number 9, loss of historic stuff.
No.
I move we approve BZCU-25-18 for a period of 1 year, subject to the following conditions: quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m., maximum of 4 occupants, maximum of 2 vehicles, and a period of 1 year.
Second.
Do we have a roll call?
Scott Baldwin,
Yes.
Mark Acosta,
Yes.
Carl Eaglin,
Yes.
Nancy Burkhart,
Yes.
Rick Ferris.
Yes.
And the last item on the agenda, BCU-25-19, Alexander Deutsch, requesting conditional use permit, short-term rental, 523 West Street, and CBD is the zoning, Central Business District. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Erin Deitch at 523 Main Street, West Street.
Mhm. And as your application says, you have 2 bedrooms, as listed as having 2 bedrooms on Zillow. It does have 2 bedrooms, I
Yes.
presume.
2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms.
And once again, parking, staff recommends 4 occupants, 2 vehicles, that would be 2 per bedroom. And of course, you're aware of that problem with the private parking lot.
Yes, yeah, we've been made aware of it.
Yeah.
And we know all the neighbors, we've chatted with all the neighbors, they all have our phone numbers, and we're all buddies.
And of course, you're local, so you will handle any issues or whatever may arise.
Yeah, my dad and my sister also live here. My stepmom actually works here, so she's right down the street if anything pops up.
That's a very improving neighborhood for
Yeah,
Mhm.
real nice.
Yeah, they did a great job on we bought it after it was already renovated, but they did a great job on it.
And you're just a house down from one of the previous
Mhm.
applicants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions, comments, board members?
No.
I somewhat sense the audience will not comment one way or the other. Okay, thank you, ma'am. You can
Thank
have
you.
a seat. Once again, board members, I'll just go down the list. 581, obviously. Number 2, any problems?
No.
Number 3, any problems?
No.
Number 4, any problems?
No.
Number 5, utilities.
No.
Number 6,
No.
number 7, any
Nope.
problems? 8,
Nope.
and number 9, any problems?
No.
I move we approve this BZCU-25-19 for a period of 1 year, conditional use permit, subject to the following conditions: quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m., maximum of 4 occupants, and maximum of 2 vehicles.
I'll second the motion.
Do we have a roll call?
Scott Baldwin,
Yes.
Carl Eaglin, Mark Acosta,
Yes.
Nancy Burkhart,
Yes.
Rick Ferris.
Yes.
There was one more thing under old business. Last month, we tabled, or we had the attorney send a letter to a person who had not paid their renewal fee. Staff
The email notifying the attorney did not send, so I've sent it through 2 letters from tonight, so I'm asking for an extension to next month for his payment.
I move we table this application until our next regular meeting.
Second.
And all in favor say aye. Aye. Pose no. It's tabled. And that's all. Any other business?
None here.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Pose no. We are adjourned. Well, tried to get it through as quick as possible.